ducked his head, and the first bullet went in his head, so the next one's hit him. It was like he was doing a breakdance trying to jump in the back seat or something.
News of KVD's arrest is no longer breaking, but remains a topic of intense discussion. In this video, we'll explore the individual behind the moniker Key PD, unravel his ties to the enigmatic murder of Tupac Shakur, and divulge why Sean Puff Daddy Combs might find this development disconcerting. Our protagonist's revelations implicate the Bad Boy Records magnate in the unsolved mystery of Tupac's demise. Insights drawn directly from Keith Eddis's candid interview and tell-all autobiography. Diving into the narrative, Keith Eddy, or Dwayne Davis, as per his birth record, was an integral part of the Southside Compton Crips, a notorious gang deeply embedded in the drug underworld of the early 90s. It was in this perilous world that Eddy crossed paths with the enigmatic gangster Eric Von Zip Martin, an East Coast criminal luminary referred to as Zip. It was Zip, a close ally of Puffy at the time, who orchestrated the introduction between Eddy and the Bad Boy Records honcho. To Eddy, Puffy was then an upstart, a greenhorn in the business world. Regrettably, his sentiments have drastically morphed over the years, with disdain and regret marking his contemporary reflections on their associación. Their paths intricately weaved once more a few months post their initial encounter, this time centered around a 21400 car rental for the renowned artist Usher's music video, Can You Get With It? As fate orchestrated, the summer of '95 heralded another twist. Zip, navigating through the neighborhood, extended an invite to Eddy for Puff's illustrious Beat Summer Jam. In the enigmatic ambiance of the party was the formidable Suge Knight, his eyes casting an envious glare at Puffy's ascending star. Eddy's revelation of their drug-laden past did little to quell the escalating tension. It all culminated in the iconic Source Awards, an event marked by Suge's audacious revelations, a prelude to a saga we're set to unravel. Stay tuned as we delve deeper, pulling back the curtains on a narrative soaked in intrigue, betrayal, and ominous undertones that cast a long, unsettling shadow over Puff Daddy, a sentiment echoed in the revealing words of Keith Eddis. Suge said, at autopsy, "I want to be honest. I want to stay a star. I don't want to really have to worry about the data booth to try to be all in the videos. All on the record covered Death Row." The harmony once shared between Bad Boy Records and Death Row Records disintegrated, obliterated by words that proved too incendiary to ignore. The discord reached a fever pitch on the 23rd of September 1995. On this ill-fated night, representatives from the warring labels came face to face at a party in Atlanta, setting the stage for a confrontation of epic proportions. Suge Knight, not one to mince words or actions, confronted Puff Daddy, unleashing physical aggression. As recounted by Keith Murray, Puff Daddy bore the brunt of a stinging slap delivered with full force by Suge, marking a poignant climax to their escalating animosity.
But he did grab him by his collar and was blaming Puffy that night.
He was a good friend of him. He was a very good friend. You see them together often, and I think Suge trusted him a lot.
Determining the actual perpetrator of the murder is a complex endeavor. Yet, in the aftermath, a chorus of voices from mainstream media was quick to cast blame on an individual affiliated with Bad Boy Records. In the turbulent wake of these accusations, Puff made a call to Zedd, insisting on a conversation with Keith Ed. The message relayed was succinct, yet ominous. "Your boy, big CEO, he's losing it." An apparent reference to Suge Knight. KVD recounted that Puff was engulfed in such trepidation that he sought the protective services of former Navy SEALs. These security personnel, donned with earpieces reminiscent of CIA agents, were stationed in the hotel room adjacent to Puff's, a stark testament to the palpable fear that gripped him.
And I'm scared of the big boy. I mean, you know, he didn't say it in that type of words, but we went to the concert, it was in San Diego, and this nigga had fucking Navy SEALs in the next room. They looked like the FBI with earpieces and everything.
Subsequently, a clandestine meeting unfolded at a strip club, where Zip and Puff were immersed in a deep conversation. Keith Ed would later join this covert assembly. Amidst the revelry and under the club's dim lights, a sinister proposition emerged. Keith Ed was offered a staggering $1 million to orchestrate the assassinations of Suge and Tupac.
Even if he wasn't serious about it, but he did say that around him.
It was floating in there. I'll just say that.
Plus, Puffy trying to see me weak, hearts I rip. Biggie Smalls and Junior Mafia, some mark-ass bitches.
Following that, a secretive gathering took place in the obscure corners of a strip club. Zip and Puff, engaged in a hushed dialogue, were eventually joined by Keith Ed. As the atmosphere pulsated with the club's muted lighting and echoing music, a malevolent offer surfaced from the shadows. Keith Ed was enticed with the prospect of a $1 million payday in exchange for executing a dark task, the eliminations of Suge and Tupac.
Worldwide, let them recognize from Long Beach to Rosecrans.
At the House of Blues on Sunset, an unexpected encounter unfolded. Southsiders found themselves in the presence of Tupac, who was accompanied by Big Syke of the Outlaws. A confrontation ignited when one gang member, with audacity, clutched Tupac's collar, pushing him against the wall, his words insinuating a deeply rooted territorial allegiance. "Man, you know what Long Beach and Rosecrans stand for?" The narrative took a dramatic turn that would later be identified as the precursor to Tupac's retaliatory attack on Orlando Anderson. In the midst of this, Victor, a friend of DVD and a notable high school footballer destined for college, was to be celebrated with a send-off by Keefe. However, fate had other plans. During a visit to the mall, Victor found himself cornered by 3 members of the Pirates gang, associates of the Death Row crew. Unbeknownst to them, Victor was affiliated with the Southsiders. As fate orchestrated it, his allies coincidentally entered the mall, shifting the dynamics of the confrontation. With the scales tipped, Victor, emboldened, signaled the commencement of a face-off of epic proportions, managing to knock out one assailant and seizing a Death Row Records chain in the melee. The incident prompted the cancellation of a shipment to the store and left an indelible mark on the rap industry. Fast forward to September 7, 1996, where another fateful encounter awaited. Keith Ed and his entourage, along with Tupac and his crew, were spectators at a Mike Tyson match. The air, thick with unspoken tension, hinted at the unfolding drama. Post-match, Keith Ed's crew migrated to a predetermined location, the next chapter of this saga awaiting initiation, suspended in the eerie silence of a 15-minute anticipation. One by one, the attendees began to arrive, with the noticeable absence of KVD's nephew. A wave of anxiety crashed over when KVD received word of an attack on his nephew. The dots connected when they discovered that the instigator from the Lakewood Mall, whose chain had been taken, was in Tupac's company at the moment they spotted Baby Lane, known as Orlando Anderson, in the MGM lobby. The swift confrontation that ensued had Baby Lane cornered minutes later by Suge, Tupac, and their entourage. By the time KVD and his crew arrived at the scene, the assailants had vacated. Despite a slight injury to his shoulder, Baby Lane recounted the incident, highlighting the presence of one of the individuals from the Lakewood Mall. The insult was unbearable for KVD. The music industry figures had humiliated his nephew. With Puff's prior plea for assistance and Suge's ungratefulness for the support received during the inception of his label, vengeance brewed in the atmosphere. As fate weaved its narrative, they were privy to Suge and Tupac's destination, Club 662. Amidst the anticipatory wait for their cars, Zip summoned KVD. Foxy Brown's presence in the car required her temporary exit as KVD approached. Zip revealed a concealed compartment, drawing out a black .40 Glock. With the weapon unveiled, the sinister proposal was vocalized. It was time for retribution. The wait for their targets stretched to an agonizing 90 minutes with no appearance. Impatience led KVD and his crew to the Carriage House, a Las Vegas hotel, their refuge and designated meeting point. Rooms rented in anticipation of the unfolding events were silent witnesses to the sinister plan. Each phase, a calculated move in the chessboard of a war fueled by rivalries, betrayals, and an unyielding quest for power and respect. The interwoven fates of each player in this ominous game, spiraling towards an inexorable climax that would echo through the annals of rap and gang history. Their journey to the Carriage House included a pit stop at the liquor barn, picking up bottles of Dom Perignon Rosé, and Cristal. Anxiety pervaded the atmosphere inside the van with Davis. A collective apprehension simmered regarding potential retaliation from Suge's police-affiliated assassins. KVD, infuriated, questioned the rationale behind their audacity to initiate a conflict, if Dredd was their companion. In a bid for solitude, KVD retreated to the confines of another's white Cadillac, a sanctum amidst the escalating turmoil. The Glock, a present from Zip, was nonchalantly flung to the backseat. Bubble Up commandeered the wheel, with Baby Lane and Freaky as passengers. Destiny orchestrated a serendipitous encounter at a traffic light. The Death Row entourage, with Tupac unrestrainedly engaging his adoring crowd, was an unmissable sight. A silent survey of each luxury car in the caravan culminated in an intense face-off between Suge and KVD, a silent testament to deep-seated animosities and unspoken vendettas. The confrontation escalated. Tupac's weapon heralded the commencement of a fierce exchange of gunfire. Amidst the chaos, one of Davis's comrades, armed with the Glock, retaliated. Suge, contrary to circulating narratives, bore the initial injury. In the aftermath, an unsettling normalcy cloaked their demeanor. The Cadillac, now a silent custodian of the night's secrets, was abandoned, the Glock concealed within its wheels. Daylight revealed the weapon's disappearance, an enigma intertwined with the unfolding investigation. Greg Kading, tasked with demystifying the murder, recounted the cryptic dialogue between Puff and KVD in the aftermath. Amidst the unsaid and the explicitly articulated, murmurs of $1 million bounty, commissioned by Puff via Zip for Tupac's life, stirred beneath the surface, adding a sinister dimension to the interplay of loyalties and betrayals echoing in the silent aftermath of that fateful night. Yet the intrigue deepens with circulating whispers that Puff had allegedly commissioned Zip with $1 million bounty for Tupac's assassination. The twist in this ominous narrative lies in the alleged exclusion of Key VD from this sinister financial exchange. It's noteworthy to mention that there was a confession that Suge had handed $60,000 to his nephew, a move designed to have Orlando vouch in court that Suge was not his assailant. Unfortunately, this strategy proved futile, as the Death Row Records magnate was still sentenced to a 9-year incarceration. We're intrigued to hear your perspectives. What do you foresee as the fate of Key VD and Puff Daddy in this tangled web of events? Share your insights in the comments below. Don't forget.
Subscribe to the Keep Low YouTube channel and go to the community page, and it'll give you new updates on what Keep Low's doing new. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, because that helps the channel out with the YouTube algorithm. We want to get Keep Low rocking. Big salute to all my subscribers, and if you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate everybody who's tapped in. So again, big salute to all my subscribers. I am Lashim the God, if you don't know. Hey you, yeah you. Go to www.keeplowproductions. Get your splizzy Keep Low Production shirts with the world famous lines in the street and a manhole cover, and we down there keeping low. Because if you keep low, you never tell, you never know. So hit me in the comment section or like the page and just get your Keep Low shirts and show support to the channel. Thank you to everybody that's sending me super chat, super thanks, and it's all love. Once again, Keep Low shirts, all sizes and colors available. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And again, if you keep low, you never tell, they never gonna know. I'm out.